Welcome back to another episode of Boys Love Build Up, the show where we recap the vocal show Build Up.
I think it's still a vocal show. Okay. I think it's still a vocal show because I will say the team who strayed too far from the path did not get a lot of good scores. So
well, in terms of the judges' scores,
scoring,
yeah. We'll get there. I think we'll talk about this more next week with the finale, or whenever the finale is. I don't know if it's next week or the week after, but
let me ask Discord now.
I want to have a conversation of, in the pantheon of shows that we've covered, Boys Planet, Fantasy Boys, Queendom Puzzle, Island, this. We also did watch and audition for our Patreon channel. How does this cement itself? And also, like, what are the issues that the show had? And we'll talk about it more next week, but I think there's obviously good and bad in everything. Sure. I think there's some confusion over how the show started to where it's ending.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a clear thread.
I know, yeah. It felt like there was an adjustment that was made, maybe.
Correct.
I think in the rules.
Yes.
Of like what the final product will be.
Correct. Are you wearing the white Wanna's beanie from their Second World Tour?
Yes, I am.
Yes, I am. So because they won last week, Milky UP gets to decide the order for this week. First up is HUNMINJAYBIT, just like last week. They're doing a new original song called Flower. It is a sexy concept. It's not Jisoo's Flower, but it's very sexy.
Georgia O'Keeffe, girl. They had a blooming flower on screen.
Wow, did I just not notice that at all?
You did.
Wow, that's so funny. I just was engrossed with the performance, I guess. I was just looking at Sunghoon's
little tummy, flat tummy tea ass.
Little waist. So in this challenge, they
racers.
They are assigned songs. Now, granted, the first 15 minutes of the show we watched had no subtitles.
So what's going on, Mnet?
We don't know really the full rules.
How they got the songs. I think they made the songs and they're like, this will be for this team.
I think the songs were assigned. So HUNMINJAYBIT get
Monica. And they said, we will be doing sexy choreo, girls.
They got Iconica.
Yeah. Monica Iconica.
So I would still say, even in this episode, the choreography isn't crazy. It's like doable. Yeah. And of the two songs that have choreo,
this is the least.
This is the like lowest, the least amount of choreo.
Yes, yeah.
Let's talk about this performance.
Adam. Now, famously, you said on this podcast, on this show, that Jay can't do sexy concepts.
You said last year.
He sucks.
Oh my God, that is not what I said.
What do you think?
I think he's grown a lot.
I think he's grown a lot too.
And I think this really works.
But I also think the sexiness evoked here in this song is not like Over Me, which is like sensual.
Yes, sensuality.
Romance novel. Like,
yes, it's Fabio on
concept.
The cover. Yeah. You know Over Me, because also there was like, I mean, we can say it. There's like a weird kind of BDSM element to Over Me.
Yeah.
That's not really what's going on here.
No.
This song for me felt, choreography wise, it felt like if you took choreo that like Motown groups would do, where it was like just some little steps and like updated it to 2024.
Yeah.
Like there's movement, so you're not just like standing and singing.
It's just enough to still really focus on the vocals.
And it's just enough. That's right.
And I think that's
the
key.
important part.
I think that's key.
I think that's key boom. Yeah.
Who was your standout here?
Okay. If I had one complaint about this number, which I really liked this performance.
Yeah,
I thought they were really good.
Yeah.
And I would say probably they're the hottest team. I mean, Jay specifically was like, I'm going to make a visual team.
Yeah.
And they're so very attractive.
Yes.
So it's very rewarding in that sense to
see
be
them
watching
in like tight little white.
And honestly, just put any group in white and I'm going to be...
Put any man in white.
I'm
going to
be eating. There was, and it is not easy to do this kind of like softer, like piano.
Like, yeah.
like pianissimo kind of like sound. The
understated, but still like strength. There's still power in it, even though it's more under the skin.
Yes. I wish there was more. I thought Jay had a great chance to like show off his skills.
Yes, he had that one like run into the high, into the low, like just full roller coaster.
And then I thought Sunghoon had a nice moment where he got to like belt, and he also had his rap. But the other two, I felt like I missed. Them having a wider showcase.
I feel like I am getting less and less Minso, even though because like when it was just him and Bain, and then just him, Bain, and Bitseon. He is like, he gets so much. For some reason, I am kind of losing him vocally in a 4.
This is probably my favorite. Not my favorite. Sorry, this is not my favorite Minso performance, but I think Minso was my favorite in this performance because he was like, I liked his little like smile about it.
Every time he basically like chewed it up every time he did have a moment.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. But still just like, because he is so new, you just surprised every time you see him.
He has the handicap in terms of like, I expect nothing from him, so I'm always surprised. Always like pleasantly surprised. Yeah.
I think Sunghoon is my favorite here. I mean, they said it. They're like, you really know how to use your body well. But that's the thing. He just has a way of knowing.
I really try not to do this when we talk about these shows.
I know.
But like,
but he's doing all of these body rolls and then belting still. So it's like,
I know.
He's a total package. Like literally.
Package is the word I would use for sure.
Yeah, a tight little package. Snatched
Not
package.
Little. Jay's great as always. I would like him to do one song where he doesn't do the growl because we know it. That's the only thing. I want him to be like, just do it clean.
Yeah.
Because he can. We know he can.
Yeah.
It's just on this show specifically, he's made it his like, this is my signature thing.
Yeah.
Which is fine. But I feel like Marcel Sage being like, we've seen the
take off
pointed
the elf
ears done. Yeah. But I like when he does it. So it's really not, it's not even a criticism.
It's not deterring you. No. It's more just like, it would be nice to see him.
Because we know he can.
Yeah.
That's the point.
But I thought this was a really, I mean, I think out of all of them, they are the most cohesive as like, you could debut this group. This could be a group now.
Totally.
And you couldn't even have said that it was like formed through a survival show. Like you could see them be formed naturally, organically, in order to be a group.
A company put them together.
Yes.
Are they a singing group?
They are an idol group.
They are an idol group, yeah. This is the question about the show.
But that's the question of the show.
That's not on them at all.
That's not on them.
This is about Mnet and what they decided
what
the
they
show
wanted
is.
the show, what they told us the show was going to be, and then how it's going to end up, how it's looking that it will end up. Which is very interesting.
So weird. They get 99. That's their highest score. So they set the bar. They set the standard. They also had the lowest in their like interim feedback when they showed each other their performances. Lows, they were the ones who were
I
like
wouldn't know
low.
what they specifically said because the subtitles weren't working yet, but they said low. They said energy wise, I think it was like low energy from Jay. The lowest energy that they got.
Okay, so Partners did a song called Love Yourself, an original song, and they also have choreo.
Yes.
Choi Young-jun
is back and said, let's cunt
again.
this up. Turn up the cunt.
Yeah.
Okay, for the whole story going into this was that jeup hadn't danced in an idol group
in 5 years.
Since before the military.
Yep.
And so that's his big hurdle to get through. And basically that was the only thing that was focused on going into this.
Yes, there was nothing else.
But what did you think of the performance?
I didn't necessarily. It's so weird. I feel like I probably should have watched it again before we started talking. We just watched it, and now we're recording. But
I remember it being gooped and gagged and like was reacting really well to like they do good moments and the judges said that you guys do really good moments in the song. You sound great. There are like these really vocally amazing parts.
Yeah.
But everything else just felt like I didn't need a lot of what else you were doing.
It was a bummer. Okay.
Choi Young-jun also is like Choi Young-jun, also a great choreographer.
Great choreographer.
That I almost wish that it was a little bit like Monica's approach, where it's like, let's just add it in where
let's flavor it with choreo.
Yeah.
Instead of making it snap by Queendom Puzzle. I wish they had no backup dancers.
Yeah.
Because it distracted.
Yep.
Not even like they were better. No, I'm not saying they distracted in terms of they were better than the other four, but
it was
it was too much.
Too much.
I think that was really it. They needed to take one thing off.
Yeah, and I think
before they left
the
house.
I wish they didn't also do the choreography when like one person is singing, everyone is like in the back, like doing like. I'm like,
there was just a lot of movement.
It's just a little too much.
I didn't feel that like their vocals were hurt by all the movement.
This was my criticism last week of like, I felt like Jung and Bain were doing similar things.
Yes.
I felt like it was different here.
So different lanes,
they are,
for
yes.
sure.
Bain is doing one thing and Jung is doing a different thing. Bain is the bane of my existence.
Do you know how insane it is?
I can't do this anymore.
donghun, Jung, and jeup to be in this group also. And I am only watching Bain.
I'm only watching Bain because
I am so obsessed with the way he performs.
An enigma.
I am obsessed with the way he performs. He is so like tall and broad and like masculine, but like so fluid. Like there is a full. He's in the in between.
He's in the in between, girl. There's an ambiguous. There is a living in both worlds. I know. I could watch him like make toast. Like I would just watch him do anything. I'm so obsessed with him.
Yeah. I am so glad. Like we've already started discovering Bain, right? Because we started doing our island, like post island, whatever, and we've been watching Just Be stuff, but like we have not gotten that Bain.
No. This Bain doesn't exist anywhere else, I feel like, so far, except here. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I need Bain Unleashed, bitch.
But okay. It's so weird because I thought this song was harder vocally than Flower. And I thought they nailed it. And I thought there were more harmonies and blah, 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 blah.
Yes. I was like, oh, there's way more. I was like,
it's a definitely more challenging song. Yes. But I think the choreo is like HUNMINJAYBIT Flower. It was like it's still it's the vocals with an added choreo moment. Yeah. Whereas this is like it's trying to do both equally.
It's all one.
And that's not the point, but that's not their fault. I guess it would be Youngjun's fault, but also like
I think it's like Mnet.
Like what did they tell him? Yeah. Like there's just like a confusion of like it is clear that the producers don't know what the show is anymore.
Yeah. I think that's it.
And it's a bummer.
Because
the show started out so strong in a very specific singular vision of what the show is.
And now it's just messy just to be like, let's just make everyone
ratings.
Yes. Let's make everyone love them.
Right. I mean, we've ended up with all of the idols are here and like 2 balladeer. Yeah. Nope, they just went home. I liked
this performance a lot too. I may have liked it vocally a little more than Flower because I did like donghun and jeup. I mean, I could listen to donghun and jeup sing together for the rest of my life. If they were like, you can't listen to any more music, I'll say then I will just listen to donghun and jeup sing.
I completely understand what you mean by that.
And I think jeup like found it and realized it that it's like he's really found something special. Their voices match so perfectly.
It's wonderful to hear them together.
And they're both powerful voices, so you wouldn't think it would, but it does.
But they're equally matched. It is one does not overshadow the other. They are like in combination. I really wish there is a part of me that really wishes that jeup had done his duet with donghun instead of Suwon. Although Suwon, listen, Mama, we'll talk about Suwon,
bitch. You do not even worry, bitch. Yeah.
And I thought Jung was really good in this too.
So what do they get?
They get 93. And their criticism was that they didn't like own the song. It felt
they're doing a lot. I think
it was bigger than them.
Yes.
And I agree.
But
yeah.
But that's not their
right, but also like you can't be like, but I
But then I can't be like, well, you can't own a song. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Next is Waterfire. They are doing a song called Someday. It is a ballad. We're back to ballads.
Yeah, it was the ballad writing team was like 1601, I think.
1601, yes.
And they were all like, they've written all of these OST.
They are OST girlies. Yes, you know the girl. You've ever been on TikTok, you know her.
And I literally am like, why am I not following their career?
That's what because why did this song absolutely ruin me?
Yeah.
I mean, genuinely, like...
And you can tell the judges were like, finally a fucking ballad.
Yeah.
I thought this is what we signed up for, honeys.
Yeah. So they, in
their interim, they were like, it's a mess.
Umuti's weak.
Umuti's weak. His voice isn't dynamic.
Voices.
Hayun's not blending. It's a mess.
Yeah, there's no teamwork.
They go see Miss One Star. And One Star is like, girls, you're good, but...
It's so... RJ, I didn't know for so...
That's his name?
I have to hide my face. I thought that was like a joke. Because
Boys Planet Star.
Yeah.
No, that's his station name.
Yeah, I didn't know. I thought for
a year. Almost a year. Over a year.
I've thought that like the joke is because he gives 1 stars. That his name, like it was like, haha, LOL.
Oh, girl, boys love staying in school.
Oh my God. I didn't know. I'm so stupid.
1 star was like, it's really good. Let's just...
He does the fake out thing. Oh, they love you.
But he's like, let's just...
Clean it up.
Let's clean it up and let's like complicate it in a way that like, let's make it more complex.
Yeah.
And not just
dynamism.
Like... Yes.
Yeah. What did you think of this performance, girl? It's very hard because there has been so many ballads on the show.
Yes.
So I can't...
I would
have to go back and watch all of them and be like, where
literally
do I put
during this number I was like, we have to make our list.
We have to make the list.
We have to make our list of like this is the
Vulture,
the Vulture
40,
Boys Love. Yeah. This is the definitive rank,
not including the like their solo
of the
every
build-up performance stage.
Yes, all the stages.
Yeah. Yes, because I don't think this would be at the top of my. I don't think it's the best ballad they've done.
I don't think it's the best ballad, but I think it's in the top 5.
But I think it's up there because the moment where they all 4 blend and sing. I was literally flossing my ears.
There's like they like fill in so perfectly all of for a group that's just the last 4 remaining. Literally. They did not choose to be in this group, right? They fill in where their other gaps are so well. To the point, I mean, it is hard, right? They have such distinct colors. Mm-hmm. And so it is very hard to like make it sound cohesive, but like all the effort that they put in.
It's so good. This was the first time I felt like
the song is just
excellent.
Piano.
It's excellent.
Just like chords.
Yes.
And I was like, this is my everything.
They were like, Umuti's voice is so gentle and like sings with this beautiful falsetto. Sunyeol has both thin and thick voices. And Hayun, they're literally like, his voice is just enough. And honestly, Adam, this is the first time where I was like, Suwon is so good. Even though he's been so good this whole show. But this was truly the first time I was like, oh my God.
Well, because like I feel like in all the other times
he's been overshadowed by his partner.
Yes. And this was the first time where it was like he is like the
You're
featured,
the jewel. You're the jewel.
Yeah. And even in a group where like Hayun is like the color.
Hayun is the color, Umuti is like the idol, and Sunyeol is just
I wish I spoke Korean fluently because to my ear, Hayun, like what's so, first of all, the tone of his voice is so fascinating, but also like he just like the words are like liquid coming out of his mouth. He doesn't enunciate them, but not in a way where you can't understand it. But it's like just enough. It's like alternative,
liquid,
like,
but like has viscosity in it. Like it's. I know.
I did not expect to have this reaction to this number. Like when they started, I was like,
it's going to be nice. And it's going to be nice because it's the one ballad. So it'll be nice.
Right. I was like, couldn't stop crying. I just think the song is so lovely. They matched its energy so perfectly. They were so well balanced. I'm going to say something. Oh my God.
I'm going to say this about our beloved Wumuti. I know he loves to dance. I know he loves to be like a talented, multi-talented performer.
A multi-hyphenate.
A multi-hyphenate.
Sure.
This is his lane.
Baby, listen to me. Listen to your gunkles.
This is where he shines the most.
Oh my God.
It's so delicate. His voice is so delicate, but so prepared. So just, it's so good that I'm like, Wumuti, you could release a full album of just these like emotional pop ballads.
It's so good.
Wumuti's Barbra Streisand.
And Wumuti is Barbra Streisand.
Wumuti needs to make a Barbra Streisand duets album with the girls of Build Up. It's so good.
Hello, Wumuti.
Hello, Wumuti. That's the kiss.
Hello, Wumuti.
Hello, Wumuti.
Yeah, I was completely moved by this song.
I know.
And I know we've been.
I know we
especially
are
on our recap
we are ballad
show,
bias.
We are ballad bias. I probably would say this is my favorite performance of the episode. And it just was vocals.
Yeah.
It just was, I mean, that's it.
I know.
Yeah. And I get it is, I mean, in the producer's defense, it is hard to make a dynamic show where it's just people singing with nothing else going on.
That's Masked Singer. That's, there's like a million shows.
So many of those shows. And so what sets this one apart, right?
Yeah.
So I understand the like conundrum, and you have all these idols that you like added to the show. So of course they have fan bases. You want to like support that, But like it is so when it's right, it's so right. I think in the show's defense, that second challenge where almost every song was a ballad.
Yeah.
I don't know if they should have like assigned them songs, but like maybe the verses should have been like, and now you two have this style song. Maybe these two groups have this style song. You know what I mean? I think that's probably the biggest thing that, and probably where a lot of people fell off, because it was like ballad after ballad after ballad. And if you're not in the bag for ballads, and not all of them were like great either.
Yeah.
Like they were good, but they weren't like memorable.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I wish the show at least helped set it up that like we're expecting both.
Okay, they get a 98. So they're number 2. Milky UP goes last. They have a song written by P-Dog called You and I.
It's a really good song.
And their vocal expert that comes in is a singer named Shin Yume.
Vocal coach.
Songstress. I can't believe they went to Hybe.
I know.
And baby, let's get Soomin in Hybe more often.
Let's get Jung Soomin in Hybe. Jung Soomin can write these bops, girl. Jung Soomin can be in those booths.
This is what I'm saying. Let's get these deals.
I hope that after that filming, Geonu like texted Heesung and was like, "Girl, I'm on floor 19. Girl, come on down.
Can I come use the gym?"
And I hope they met at the damn cafeteria.
Yeah, the Hybe cafeteria. So first of all, they do this bit where they do the hearts. They have like hidden hearts, which is like BTS did it in, was it Go-Go?
Yeah. The song is like young guys experiencing their first love.
First love.
So
vibes.
in their like introduction, they're like, I
Very
hope all the
sweet.
Nunas will like the songs.
Yeah, you're all gonna want to date us after this.
Yeah. Okay, what did you think of the song?
I thought the song was okay. This is probably my least favorite.
I thought the song was cute. I thought the song was good. It's a good song. But the judges already said it. They were like, it just feels like it's not it won't be a performance song. So they need to make it like exciting.
And I thought they did a really good job with it.
They did a good job with it. I really did.
And it's not the song. I think it's just like,
I don't think it's the song either.
I don't know what it is. And it's not their performance, I don't think either, honestly. Because
the only thing that they picked up was that it was a little too high for Soomin because he kept flipping. He had to flip so much. Yeah. And I do think like because of his style of singing, he is more like soulful R&B. Yeah. You are singing a lot of falsetto, so he probably was like, well, it probably wasn't that big of a deal. But I think because when they called him out on it, that's when he felt really guilty. Yeah. So he was like, I should have picked something that
and I wish he hadn't
more consistent.
Sang the chorus both times.
Yeah.
I wish he had like given the second chorus to Haram or something.
Haram because I think he shared it with Haram for the second chorus a little bit, but I wish Haram can sing that.
I know, and it is.
So that's why
I definitely did notice that Haram like did not have a ton in this one either.
That is the one thing that I feel bad about Milky UP. They're all having a great time. They all have great personalities. I would watch the soup.
Hundreds of hours of content of theirs.
Millions of content.
And this is like the thing about like it's not one thing that attracts you to a group.
Totally.
It is like there are groups that I am more into their like not proper released content, like their backstage stuff, because like I find them so wonderful. And there are some groups that I'm like more just in the bag for like their music because I don't really like know much about them personally. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like there's not one way to be a fan or one way to access being a fan of a group.
Yeah.
They are a group that I could see you just packaging the four of them and just sending them out and they would already have a fan base.
Yeah, totally.
Because I think they're so winning and they're so, like, they enjoy each other so much. And it is so
when you're seeing
infectious.
People enjoy what they're doing, you also have a good time.
Totally.
I mean, that was Ganu's whole thing.
Yes.
That's what he told them. He was like, if we're having a good time on the stage, people will fall in love with us.
Yes. I do think it was a bummer that this performance was right after last week because it's doing the same thing again.
Yeah.
Not that the song is the same, but like this performance style is basically a copy of last week.
I do think Uptown was a little bit more goofier. I think here was a little bit more
this was focused. More cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they should have went first.
I definitely think the order hurt them. They should not have ended the show. They probably should have gone first or second.
Yeah. But I actually really liked Soomin in this number.
Okay, this is the weird thing so we talked about his like, I liked him
flipping. So I
didn't mind it. It really was just like, it was a lot of Soomin.
Yes.
And I was like,
and I think that's why, because
more...
it was so hyper focused on Soomin, that's probably how they picked it up.
I am so glad in these last two performances though that Geonu has been like appreciated for what he is. His style of performing is.
Yeah, because we were scared in the interim. They were being told by each other that they were like, "Yeah, Geonu's stealing the spotlight a lot. He's pulling focus."
Where I'm not going to beat this dead horse again.
Honestly, at this point, it's like just catch up to him.
Yeah. Just match it. But I think that's why they are so great because they have such boundless energy when they're all together, just in general, that it's truly like so enjoyable to watch them. Yeah. But I did not love this performance. No, I liked it a lot.
I mean, it's
and
tough.
If I had been in the room, I would have eaten it up. And it's like it is a good performance that I would like go back and I would rewatch because I'd be like, oh, remember the time they did. It's such a feel good performance. It is like on our like BL rankings, this is the one that I'm like rewatching because like it's like comfort viewing.
I'm keeping it on syndication.
But this isn't like S tier. Like I want to scrub my brain and forget about it so I can rewatch it again. Which is like, I don't know if any of them from this round are honestly that, to be honest. Yeah. But
that's why we need to make this list, girl.
We need to make the list. We got to make the list. So they get a 95. So they are in third place in terms of like the highest judges' scores. So we go to the scoring, the official final scores. So out of 600 for judges, 300 from live audience, and 100 from online votes. Number one is 983 for HUNMINJAYBIT.
Yeah.
583, 300, and 100.
So they got perfect in the audience.
Yeah.
Anytime the audience got to vote.
Yep. And they get the highest judges' scores. Waterfire gets 890, 572, 298, and 20. The online scoring is... I don't know how these numbers are calculated.
Yeah.
Because how did they get two less than for the live audience, but they got 20... I understand they're not the same thing.
They're just like averaging and diluting to equal.
Yeah.
Like what
I need to see the formulas. I need to see the Pythagorean theorem.
I need to see the Excel spreadsheet that's calculated.
That's really what I need to see.
I need the formulas.
And I just want to see it because I'm just very into Excel spreadsheets. So those two headed to the finals. Congrats to them. And then we have the final two, Partners and Milky UP. Partners gets 847. 544, they get the lowest judges' scores. 262 and 39. And then Milky UP is 741. They have 550, 221, and 10.
Okay, Adam. I did not realize that we are just taking it is who is your one team to the end. That's how it alluded to at the end of the show, that like one of these teams will be the winner of Build Up.
But I mean, I guess if the show was called Build Up,
we've been building up to a group of 4.
Yes.
But it just
that is not explained at the beginning of the show. There is like a level of like, because each show has its own thing, it would have been nice for them to be like, the point, this is the goal of the show. Bobbity, 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 blah. But like they changed the show as it went on.
I think they changed, yeah.
Because I think this part was probably set from the beginning, where they were going to build, like the way they've been stacking.
Yeah.
I think that was the point of the show. So I do think they knew that. They just didn't communicate that to the audience. I even think that maybe like the contestants might have known that was like how it was going to go.
All that to say then, if you had to pick just one of these 3 teams to win in the final, watching their trajectories, all of them, it is cumulative. It is not just from the semifinal. Who do you think?
Fuck me.
Which team?
Oh my God.
Do you want to see win?
This is so insane.
It's insane.
Because I want,
and also I want all
12 of these people to
win. Want all 12 of them. I want all 3, which they did say they are touring.
all 16 to win, to be honest.
Yeah. They are touring these 3 groups. They're doing like a little live
they
show.
said internationally, but that could also just mean Japan.
Yeah. So.
Oh my God. Oh my God. This is so awful.
I know.
But also, I think it might be harder to even pick a 4 out of this 12 too. Like if I was like, picking my 4, I have
totally. I have no clue. Because I
would be like, well, I have 4, and then I have 8 people on deck.
Genuinely, I would be happy with any combination from the 16, honestly.
Any.
We're going to say it at the same time, okay? 1, 2, 3,
HUNMINJAYBIT. I thought you were going to say the same as me.
No.
I just think...
I know.
I think for... they have been the most consistent for the duration of the show.
Absolutely.
And I want to reward them for what they've been able to do.
Totally.
Especially like Jay working with Hyun and Wumuti and then coming back to work again with Bitseon.
Yeah.
I just think like Jay especially, but all four of them have had such a good run on the show.
Run.
Seunghun's only thing that was like bad was his like audition song or whatever.
Yeah.
And even then it was like not bad.
Yeah.
Bitseon has killed every single performance he's been in. He's like I am so into hearing his voice.
Yeah.
I love hearing him sing. And like Minsa is I want him to have a career. The world for him.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want this to be a vehicle for him too.
Totally.
To have a career.
Yes. And I think they're so good together. I think they work really well. And I think they like fill out each other's like harmonies really well. I think they have like they work cohesively. They look like that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things going in their direction.
Yeah.
So I would not be mad if they won. That's who I want to win.
I love an underdog story. I think they are coming in as the underdog, which is so funny because
even though they're trying to set up that like Partners is the underdog, but girl, be for real. No one is ever going to look at jeup and be like, wow, an underdog, girl.
Like, I think that the show, and listen, blame it on the edit, but the show has given me such a from the ground up story from all four of these people.
Yep.
And the fact that they did not get to choose this team, but still ended up, even with how we felt about drama, that they were still able to find it in each other of like what makes us unique and what we can create as a group. That I was like, I would be such a slay to see Waterfire win.
I know.
And be like, that's the point of the show. That you've built up in things that you didn't think would work. You didn't think wumuti had this depth. That Sunyeol could be unleashed in this like vocally.
Yeah.
That Hayun's voice is too unique to match. And that Suwon is like just good. Like he's always just good, but not the best. And it's like, it would be such an amazing
all of them,
story.
It would be such a great step in their career.
Absolutely.
This is like all of them. All four of them. This is like a great opportunity for them. So I agree.
That paints me as a jeup PO1.
Yeah.
Okay? But like...
And just say it's because you hate Bain. Say that. You sick
I don't want to see
fuck.
my sisters succeed. In defense of the talent...
But my PO1 is Bain.
Yeah.
So I feel the same way where I'm like, I want...
But that's the thing. Because they're a PO1, because they have given us amazing stages on the show...
Yes.
That I'm like, wow, I've been so fulfilled
I know.
already.
That's why I'm like... Even though this has taken a weird turn at the end of the show, I still am like, this is probably...
the best opportunity that any of
my
these people have.
favorite. We'll see how it goes next week, but this is like so far like my favorite survival show proper that we've seen. Like Boys Planet was its own thing because like the whole experience of it was like so singular that it's almost like I can't really compare it because that's really my favorite. But like this is so well done and everyone is so good. And there's no drama.
There's no drama. There are no losers.
Yeah.
Even the people who have been eliminated,
everyone gets to showcase like themselves.
Shining.
Yes. Yeah. But like also I could easily make an argument for Partners winning too.
Totally. I just did.
I need to hear jeup and donghun sing
for the rest of my life.
In my ears, in my ear holes.
I want a jeup and a donghun.
Yes.
And I
want to watch Bain perform
while touching Ung's abs. Full sensory experience. I have never wanted to be a lace glove so bad in my life. I'm not joking.
I mean,
when the little lace glove peeked from Jeup's hand, I was like, that's me.
I am not man, I am not woman, I am lace glove. Yeah.
In Park Jeup's hand.
Yeah.
It's still 10:10 KST on Friday. Will be a live broadcast with some pre-taped sections. Among the 3 teams that advance to the finals, vote for just one vocal boy group of your choice.
Wow.
And
I would vote HUNMINJAYBIT.
The polls end the 29th till the day of, bitch.
But like, I'm so sad about Milky UP. I like cried at the end of the episode when they got eliminated.
I know. Because Soomin really put his heart in this.
He really did. And his whole thing of being like, I'm a singer-songwriter.
Yes. He literally was like, in this career, I do everything by myself. And this entire process.
I finally got to go to summer camp with all my friends.
That I got to work with other people. And I think that's the part of
so lovely
music making that's tough, especially if you're a singer-songwriter. Well, and
it's such as people who have done theater, it's that the camaraderie of doing a show together, but then the bittersweetness of it being over.
Done.
Yeah.
Jungsu, Milky UP, Lollapalooza. Let's do it. Milky UP Riot Fest. Milky UP Pitchfork.
Yes.
Milky UP Ravinia.
Milky UP South by.
Milky UP South by. Milky UP Coachella.
Milky UP Coachella. Milky UP.
Milky UP at the damn salt shed here at Morton Salt.
Yeah. Milky UP at the Pritzker Pavilion.
Bitch, summer series at the J. Pritzker Pavilion in Millennium Park. Oh my god.
I'm genuinely, I'm not kidding.
I will fly.
This is not happening, by the way. This isn't even
this isn't even real.
This isn't even a Boys Planet. I would buy the albums. LOL. This is never going to happen.
Yeah.
But were that to happen, I am purchasing it. I'm going to Target over there.
Buying
I'm purchasing a tent.
Yeah.
I'm camping out the night before. I am front row. I will stink. I do not care.
Front row for Milky UP performing at Millennium Park. J. Pritzker Pavilion. Soomin, let us book you.
It's too serious for me.
Let us book you, girl.
It's too serious.
We'll do it. I'll talk to the city of Chicago.
I need him to bring them to Chicago.
Soomin, you have to bring them to Chicago.
Do you know how annoyed Soomin is that I'm sure that geonu is not. He's just as annoyed as we are that Just Be is not coming to Chicago.
Oh, I
have something to say about that. Whoever set up Just Be's tour can go straight to hell. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Why are you not even going to the Midwest?
Also, why are you flying them to Brazil and then Atlanta and then Denver?
Who managed this tour? Because what's not clicking?
Girl, just the flight paths.
Let's use our brains.
I'm so serious. I will get Milky UP booked. I would have the city.
The Milky UP Tiger Beat.
Oh my god. Girl, the Milky UP trading cards where it shows what are the favorite things.
Yes. I'm so mad this is not a real group. I'm so mad this is not a real group because genuinely I think if they had made it, I probably would have picked them to go to win.
Yeah.
Because I love them.
Because they are such lightning in a bottle. That's it. It's
so good.
You wouldn't expect to find this much chemistry.
I know.
In random
circumstances,
but they did.
I know. So just at least give us in the soup. Give us something. You were just in Hybe. Find out who is the point of contact to start it in the soup
office. We have a pitch.
Hey, the girls love us, and by the girls we mean the girls and 30-year-olds in Chicago.